everybody. It's time for our Quilt Builders card deck block of the month for May, and that block is this one right here. See, it has the number 5 on it. That means May. And it is called Susanna, after one of my besties, and spelled the same. And that's not really true. It was named that a long time before she was, but anyway. So this is the block. Well, here, this is the block, and these are the instructions. And this one is very, very simple. You see this inside part is kind of like a square in a square. Actually, it is a square in a square. And there are no shortcuts to complicate things this time. You're going to cut all of the pieces exactly as it tells you how to. So in your kit you will have a light blue, a white, and a dark blue, which are, make sure that you're using the ones that are not this, okay, because there's a white and a dark blue in there for that too. Those are actually 7 1/4 inch squares or something like that. I can't remember it exactly, but they're the squares that you'll be familiar with them because you get those every month. So it's the 5th month, so if you had chosen to make these the first 4 months, you're done with those, and you're just going to make the rest of these each time. If not, it doesn't matter. You can make either one you want. Just make sure you don't make too many of these because you won't have enough fabric. Well, you can take them apart, but anyway, I'm rambling. So in your kit you have the light blue, the white, and the dark, and on the card it tells you for the 12-inch block you're going to cut 8 3.5 inch squares of the dark, right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. And of the medium, you're going to cut 4 3.5 inch squares, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And of the medium also, you're going to cut 2 3 7/8 inch squares, and those will be cut on the diagonal. They are going to be sewn on to the 4 3/4 inch square that you've cut from the white. So this is the 4 3/4 inch square, and you're going to sew those corners on like that. I was looking through this card deck one day, and I realized that there is a card in the deck that tells you how to deal with corners, like when you're putting triangles on, like which way to put the corners and stuff. So you can look through the card deck and see that. There's other instructions in there, and if you're stuck with it, that will help you. So the way I would do this, not necessarily that it's the best way, it's just the way I would take this corner and sew it on. The 1/4 inch point, or the point, is going to hang over 1/4 inch from the edge of the white. So I would sew on this one, and I would sew on the opposite one. Then I would take and press them open away from the white, and I would sew on the other 2 sides. Okay, and then the squares you're just going to sew together. So you'll sew all of those together. You'll sew that and that, and that and that, add it onto there, and then sew all of those together, and then add on the top and the bottom strip. That was clear as mud, wasn't it? So here's the picture. So you've got this square, you're going to sew the corners onto it. You're going to sew this square to this square, this square to this square, and then sew those onto that, and then sew all of those together and add them on, and sew all of those together and add them on. And that's it. And your square is done. No squaring up. Yippee! So that's it for May. And enjoy. And if you have any questions, please call. We'd be happy to help you with it. Love you. See you next month. Mwah.